Do you remember a couple weeks ago we talked about with Dan about VFX getting into unions and unionizing and stuff like that?
Mhm.
So there's actually an update. So let's go and read this. And this comes to us from Bounding in the Comics. Marvel Studios VFX unit unanimously votes to unionize, demand, quote, fair pay for the hours they work, healthcare, a safe and sustainable working environment, and respect for the work they do. I think we're going to be seeing layoffs soon for some people who work at
Yeah,
these companies.
yeah,
What
I
do you think
imagine.
about this, man?
Uh, yeah, it's like I think that it's starting to crack. It's like studios are starting to lay off people, so they're making things even worse right now. So, and yeah, the thing is, it's so messed up that once you're part of the guild, you can't really do anything about it. Like, oh, you can't look for other jobs. We're on strike. It's like it's ridiculous. I don't know. It's like they have to find like a new line of work or a sideline that has nothing to do with their current main career, which is
Mhm.
absurd. But yeah, that's what's gonna happen eventually. We knew that this was gonna happen, given the state of entertainment. Like, it's not making money; it's actually losing it more than making it. Then these people, well, a lot don't see it. Like, and they still have the audacity to do a strike. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think and the thing is most of these companies they lay off their employees right before their fiscal year ends, the fiscal calendar ends, right? So they can write it off as a loss. So,
Yeah.
like, let's say if Disney goes from January to December, which is the fiscal year, that means that if everyone's like they start unionizing, so this takes about maybe a month or two to do. So by the time November rolls around, they're gonna lay off a bunch of people, and then they're gonna be like, oh, we actually this is marked as a loss. Like we lost a lot of people, so they can save taxes, save money on taxes. So, but I do know that there are some companies who go from like I think their quarter one starts in like April or March. So I don't know, but it's gonna be really wild, man. Like, look, don't you want them to unionize? Look how great the CGI is.
For Modoc.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I couldn't even watch that movie, man.
Good picture used by the by the writer, by the author
Yeah.
of this article.
Let's see. In a seemingly inevitable move given to the employer's notorious reputation for running the unit ragged in service of milking the franchise with visually noisy release, after visually noisy release, Marvel Studios' visual effects team has unanimously voted to take a stand against their overbearing bosses and unionize under the wider banner of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which is IATSE, which is under the Animation Guild. So they're part of the Animation Guild. So I this in my opinion, should they get paid more? I do agree. But unionizing isn't I don't think it's going to help them in the long run, right? Is
Yeah.
because unionizing sounds very, very good right now, especially if with the strike that's happening right now, it's not going to be any better, right? They're just going to lay you off anyway. So like, okay, instead of having 10 visual effects artists, we're just going to have 5, and then we're going to have like an AI person work on AI or something, right? And the fact
Yeah.
that I remember I didn't watch Black Widow, but I did watch the scene. This is not how explosions work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look, when it exploded, she literally looks like she jumped back.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's not how it works.
That's what it looks like right now in that picture. That's what it looks like right now in the picture.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's continue. This decision was first announced on September 12th and followed a result of a unit-wide open vote in which every ballot cast was in favor of unionizing with IATSE. In a statement provided to Variety, IATSE VFX organizer Mark Patch explained, "Today, VFX workers and Marvel Studios spoke with a unanimous collective voice demanding for fair pay for the hours they work, healthcare, a safe and sustainable working environment, and respect for the work they do. There could be no stronger statement highlighting the overwhelming need for us to continue our work and bring union protections and standards to all VFX workers across the industry," he added. And oh my god, oh my god, I just saw that. This was in the movie?
I don't even remember. That's the thing. That's how immemorable Quantumania is. I don't even remember that scene. Probably
Holy shit.
this looks like it looks like a small segment of it. I think when they were attacking dude, what's his name? I don't even remember his name. Kang. They
Oh
were
yeah,
fighting back
Jonathan
against
Majors.
Kang. Yeah.
Was this the part where he says, "I'm not a dick"? He sacrifices himself. Oh man, this is so awful. Okay, let's continue. And there could be no stronger example for the courage and solidarity of these workers than each and every one of them declaring union yes. Likewise, IATSE International President Matthew D. Loeb declared today's count demonstrates the unprecedented demand for unionization across new sectors of the entertainment industry is very real. IATSE International President Matthew Loeb said, to these VFX workers, I congratulate you on your historic victory. Your bravery, determination, and unity are a beacon for workers not just in VFX, not just in entertainment, but workers in every industry across the country and beyond. You will enter negotiations with Marvel and Disney with a full backing of the support of 170,000 strong alliance. Your fight is our fight. Oh my god, I didn't even watch what this was. This is in the movie, right?
Yeah.
That
It's
CGI
bad.
looks so fucking awful, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like there's no plot development, there's no character development for what's her name? Uh
Riri Williams?
Riri. I can't even, it takes me time to remember their names. Yeah, it's like she's automatically a genius. She has a lab in her garage. She's smarter than Tony Stark. It's like it's such cringe and eye rolling moments. She's automatically just smarter than everyone else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's see. On the unionizing a Marvel member, studio VFX coordinator Thomas Bernard beamed, "This is historic, and I'm glad to be part of it. I can't wait to see these people get let go. It sucks. It's definitely going to suck a lot, but they're gonna get the shitty ones will get let go. The juniors and the associate VFX artists are gonna get let go. Most likely, they'll go with teams that don't, that aren't union, or they're gonna outsource. Like I said, working in the games industry, we already outsource everything, or we are starting to. So it makes sense for these VFX artists, these VFX houses to be outsourced eventually, or they will be, right? I watched a video where Asmongold reacted to, I think it was Starfield, and why that game took so long and how much it cost. It was, how many studios was it outsourced to? It was like a shit ton.
Yeah, probably a lot.
Yeah, there's like numerous, I would say at least almost maybe double digit or triple digit numbers of outsourced studios. And it's like everything, right? Oh, because this person works on, this company or this studio works on this, this part of the scene. This studio works on this part of the scene. And it's not that it's unheard of. I think companies do outsource, right? We got Third Floor, Virtuos, Bozy. We got, what's it called again? Volta, Hamagami Carol. Like a bunch of these studios are outsourcing studios, but are they unionized? And and if not, most likely they will be way cheaper than people who are in union. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Not only will this radically change the game by increasing the quality of storytelling through our work, it is also a huge step forward for taking care of the unsung individuals who helped to build the industry, he told the outlet. And someone said in the chat, I forgot who it was, they said, I miss practical effects. And I agree. I think practical effects mixed in with visual effects is probably the best. It's like the Goldilocks zone where it's like, it's perfect, right? A good example of what I thought was a great example, a very good, point that has to relate to this was in Game of Thrones. The dragon fire that they used was an actual flamethrower. So they don't have to visually put that in. The dragon, of course, is 3D, but the flame is actually like an actual crazy flamethrower that they use. I believe is when Khaleesi torched like a bunch of those people on the trail in season 7. So they showed how, because I watched the behind the scenes and stuff like that, and they use practical effects for that, which just looks really cool because you get actual lighting, you get actual heat, and you get how it actually looks like when it's either in the night or during the daytime. I think that's the best way to go. You get a little bit of both. If you do everything practical, it's going to cost a little bit more, but overall, I think the product will look better, but it takes longer, right? Sometimes, because if explosions don't go the way you want, you need to blow things up again. So I don't know, like, Grae, how do you feel? Do you like practical effects?
Yeah, for sure. It's like, yeah, I'll bring up Extraction 2 again. So because it's full on practical stuff. So yeah, it's you kind of miss it because like all you see in Disney nowadays, like yeah, Marvel, over the top visual effects that are not even that good, especially in recent memory. And yeah, it's like they're under the assumption that increase their compensation equates to increase in quality, which is not necessarily true. Especially those imagine giving a raise to the staff in CW. Do you really think you're gonna stop their woke stuff? unless you unless you mandate them to.
I don't know.
It's like right. It's like it's yeah, it's like I these people, the people who like to insert their ideologies into these IPs, like they need to understand how business works. So we're approaching that point that it's a wake up call for them. But unfortunately, it's gonna affect those who actually put in hard work, who actually just want to make a good quality work. So that's the people I feel bad for. But for the people who are responsible for making this happen, for putting Disney and all the other companies to where it is now in a not so good position because of what they were pushing for. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't really feel bad for you, honestly. You've been getting away with so much. You're getting paid to actually do your job terribly for the longest time.
Yeah. Like and if you look at the what's it called again? Simu Liu and the 10 dick rings over here sitting on this weird dragon thing. Like this still looks really bad. Like the lighting is incorrect. Like him sitting on it. Like I'm pretty sure but the thing is that, Disney they fucked themselves by saying, "Hey, this is phase 5, phase 4, whatever." And all of these movies are coming out this year.
Yeah, I think we I think it is also applies to gaming. I think people we need to they're beginning to stop companies are beginning to stop realizing that bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, look at this world, it's super duper huge. But then again, we get stuff like Starfield where people are a significant I'm not saying everyone, a significant amount of people are underwhelmed by it because like I'm coming in with the expectation it's just another Bethesda game. That's another open world Bethesda game where you do all the quests until you're full, kind of like a buffet. Then once you're full, you leave.
Yeah.
That's what it's not groundbreakingly amazing. Like it's not gonna impact you the same way like Baldur's Gate 3 probably does. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's like your games don't necessarily have to be big. I mean, take it from me. The games I've been playing now is like Ease 8, Like a Dragon, Ishin, what else? Star Ocean 2. All of them are not open world games. All of them are linear, but packed with so much good and engaging content. I think that's what they need to pivot to. They don't people are kind of sick of these huge worlds that you don't they don't really have the time to finish go through anymore, or it's so barren most of the time. I
Yeah.
think uh people would rather have smaller worlds but more packed with engaging and meaningful content. So the same thing should apply to movies. They should focus more on the writing, the characters, the good character arc and development. That's well, at least Netflix is starting to see that with One Piece. So hopefully they continue doing that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. Currently, the VFX unit is said to be preparing for their inevitable collective bargaining negotiations with Marvel Studios higher ups, though no concrete dates for these meetings have yet to be set by either party. Oh my god, so stupid! It looks so stupid.
Whoever wrote this, he got good screenshots. He
Yeah.
got really good examples.
Let's see. However, unlike a fellow Hollywood Guild member in the Writers Guild of America or the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Arts, the Marvel team is not actively planning to engage in any sorts of the strike. As noted above, this unionization move by the Marvel unit comes as no surprise given the reported brutal work conditions visual effects artists are being subjected to across Hollywood. According to the topic in the video shared in his personal TikTok account, industry visual effects artist and production coordinator Zach Mulligan cited such recent VFX horrors as Axel's talking head in Portal. Yeah, that's so, I've never seen that movie, but yeah, the talking head was just really, really awful.
Yeah,
I think it was like a kid's floating head in Love and Thunder.
yeah.
Like,
I never seen Love and Thunder either, but yeah,
yeah. Let's see. The awakening of the titular hero's third eye in Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, and the whole Modoc's existence in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and explained. In the past couple of years, it seemed like there's been an increase in the amount of complaints about bad CGI in superhero movies. And there's a good reason for this. I mean, well, it's not good, but you'll see what I mean. Let's see. And there's another one here that says bad CGI in The Flash is just a tip of the iceberg. Poor VFX in superhero movies is all too common, and there's a reason for it. Not every movie can be Avatar, but Marvel, DC, and Warner Brothers, let's see, yeah, DC and Sony can all do something about it. They just choose not to. See, let's see. It continues to say the way that the VFX companies get work is that the Marvel and WB and other studios will approach VFX companies and say, "Hey, I have 2,000 shots that I need for the sequence," and the VFX studios will place a bid based on the quantity of shots, he detailed. But here's the catch: the amount of work per shot varies dramatically. So one could have wire removal, smoke simulation, fire sim, face replacement, green screen, and despite difference in the workload between those two shots, they both are considered just one shot each out of the total quantity. Because of this, VFX artists are forced to work relentless hours, overtime, almost every day, including weekends. But here's the kicker. If the VFX companies aren't meeting the unrealistic expectations that these studios are setting, they risk losing out on those future contracts. And there's only so many studios that are making superhero movies anymore, which means that VFX companies have to bend over backwards to hit these insane deadlines from Hollywood. And holy shit, I remember watching this. This VFX on the third eye thing was so bad, and it's a I believe it was a post-credit thing too, or some shit, or at the end of the movie.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
It's yeah. You didn't watch Doctor Strange too, did you?
I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's
Yeah.
it's a Wanda movie.
Yeah.
And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, that means I need to watch WandaVision. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how they get you. They basically tie everything together. So it's like a
Yeah.
sunk loss fallacy, right? It's basically like I watched this already, or no, the sunk cost fallacy. Sorry. And it's
Yeah.
basically everything that you watch is like, oh, I have to watch this, I have to watch previous thing, or I won't get this.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, I said earlier, open games don't need to be so big and open. It's the same thing here. It's like you don't need to have that continuity. Just focus on new heroes, new stories on their own. That would be a lot easier to bring in people and focus on actually writing compelling stories and trying to make this big continuity. I'm pretty sure they're trying to make it perpetual, like phase 50, something like that. It's like, no, man, it's not you're not gonna be able to sustain that no matter how big of a company you are. Yeah, that's what I think.
Let's see. Even if you look at movies like Avatar: The Way of Water, it took them 10 years to work on the technology and just develop the VFX that looked this amazing. And you might think the takeaway from that studios would be, well, if we spend more time working on the VFX, they might actually look good, right? A former Black Adam production coordinator then rhetorically raised to his audience, let me fill you in with a little secret. Movie studios don't care about good CGI. They just don't. The only thing they care about is pleasing the shareholders on the next earnings call, which is true. Right? They don't care if the movie looks good. Is it making money? Right? But the thing is, let's say you have the best looking movie and the best CGI any movie can have, but your story sucks. The movie's gonna suck. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter how groundbreaking Final Fantasy was, like the movie. Like I think it was the crappy one that came out in like the 2000s, right? During that time, that movie 3D wise, it was groundbreaking. It was crazy. It looked really, really good. For me, I'm like, well, does it have to do with any of the Final Fantasies out there? No. Then it basically lost money. Like no one fucking cared about it. And then a couple of years later, they made Advent Children. So, all right, let's continue. To them, they've managed to increase the output of superhero movies that are still making billions of dollars, and they've reduced the time it takes to make them. Studios could easily space out their projects to give these super talented and hardworking visual effects artists more time to work on the film, but that's actually not the best interest of the shareholders. Instead, they increase the pressure on these artists to deliver faster and faster results, no pun intended. And I can't agree more with that sentiment because they ultimately, if the game or the movie looks good, like people are just gonna say it, right? Like let's say if you're working on a game that looks really really good, but the game sucks, right? People are gonna call you out on it. It doesn't matter how, and because no one cares about CGI anymore, right? Like, would you rather play a game that has like insane good visual effects, crazy CGI that looks really really fucking good? Like for instance, that Cyberpunk 2077 trailer with Idris Elba. That thing looks freaking good. Looks really good. But if that game sucks, no one's gonna fucking play it. And that goes the same with movies, right?
Yeah.
Way of Water looks really, really good. Don't get me wrong. It's probably one of the best looking movies within the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But is the story compelling? I would say the story is okay at best.
Yeah.
But it still kept my my attention, right? So I don't know. Like we're basically at the end of the article, but Grae, how do you feel about that, man? Do you agree that Emilia Clarke was the best superhero ever?
Well, that's what they wanted to do, which they did, but they just handed it to her so conveniently, incredibly conveniently. But the development of it, the way it built up, it's not, it's terrible. It's like, but I'm sure, given what they did, they're gonna they have more plans for her. She's probably she's literally the strongest there is right now because of what happened in Secret Invasion.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She got. Oh, no, you only watched episode 2?
I watched like up to, I don't care if you spoil it for me. I only watched 3 episodes of that.
Yeah, she got basically there's like a female equivalent of Nick Fury. So it's like she recruits her to let's join forces. We still have work to do. That's what happened in the end in Secret Invasion. So she's still alive with all that power, with all those powers, all of it, all of the Avengers powers. She absorbed all the DNA. So she's the strongest, literally the
You still
strongest.
don't need the Avengers anymore. You just need Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, what she probably doesn't have is like Iron Man, because Iron Man's not really DNA based. It's based on machines. That's probably the only thing she doesn't have. But other than that, she has it. But yeah, it's so forced. So good writing is thrown out the window for some reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they can fix the situation they're in unless they start focusing more on writing rather than huge blockbuster CGI production value. But yeah, I mean the board is not gonna see that because like they're stuck in their echo chamber and in their business analytics reports.
Yeah. And the fact that like you have these movies that are literally coming out over and over again, that they, to be honest, they can have shitty writing and they're just gonna want the consumers to consume. There's gonna be like you're gonna be a fat ass kid at the end of the conveyor belt, and you'd be like, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars. That's all they fucking care about. They want you to consume and consume. Just shut your mouths and consume our product and give us money.
Yeah,
that's all they fucking care about. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah,
right?
and that's the thing with business executives, like because as someone who studied business in college, like you're given the mindset that you have to keep your profitability needs to keep increasing every year. That's the thing. It's like, which is that now looking at it right now, it's like it's really not sustainable. It's like, so in their mind, it's always gonna be, okay, how do we make more money? How do we make more money next year? How do we make more money? So it's like in Disney's part, they're gonna have to, we gotta keep releasing more movies so that our revenue will increase, which definitely backfired. So they didn't realize that it'll go at the expense of good storytelling and quality. Then now they're suffering for it. Not to mention they're adding ESG elements to it to satisfy the criteria to get cheap loans from BlackRock and Vanguard. So that's how they kept doing this for years and years, and now this is where they end up.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.